Well, here's something a little unusual. I'm dropping a kind of mini episode today. Yesterday, I had St. Paul and the Broken Bones on. And then I was like, oh, I found out that my good friend Blaine Halvorson is selling a collection of art and his vintage rock tees. And if you know me, you know I love rock tees, and I've had Blaine on many times over the years. He is the owner of Made Worn, the greatest rock and roll t-shirt company in the world, hands down. He is one of my favorite humans I've ever had. In the 13 years of doing the podcast, he's top 5. Just just an amazing, amazing person. So he has this special auction going on Thursday night, the 12th, in Hollywood at LA Modern. And he's going to be auctioning off this incredible art collection and some of the most rarest rock tees on the planet. You can go to lamodern.com, see some really cool photos of the collection and a great, great little mini video with Blaine. I cannot even tell you how much I recommend you go see this if you live in Southern California. It's free. It's 5 o'clock on Thursday, and then you can, register to bid on the auctions, lamodern.com. Some of the stuff's going to blow your mind. I mean, I can't even tell you. I know the stuff quite well because I've seen it over the years, and it's just another level. So I sat down with Blaine today, and we dug into what his frame of mind is these days on why is he selling. It's how did he pick what pieces out of his 4,000 t-shirt collection. The whole thing. Dig into the episode and then check it out and get on the website and bid on something, man. This stuff is great. Thanks for tuning in. Little mini Let There Be Talk. Well. How are you, buddy?
What's up, brother?
You have an interesting thing coming up, an auction of everything, all of your rock and roll memorabilia. And
yeah, a small piece.
A small piece?
100 assorted, sort of hand-picked from sort of, really kind of focused on the 60s, 70s, a little bit of the 80s.
So some of that Holy Grail stuff, like the goat's head soup sweater.
Yeah, I mean, to me, some of the the best of the best.
Yeah.
The goat's head swoop, not swoop. The goat's head soup, the Fillmore West with the Bill Graham's middle finger. It's things that that I've collected over the last 30 years that they've been framed on my wall. I've always seen as time collecting and going through, especially today with, the so-called sort of end of rock and roll as we know it.
Yeah.
It's like they become art to me, they bring you back to that, that period of time when, and those moments, which, I still have that bug. I still collect, all the time. So, yeah.
So how many shirts? And it's going to be in L.A. on Thursday?
Thursday, yeah.
Yeah. And how many shirts?
Yeah, so we're doing it's like a gallery installation of 100 pieces.
And do they auction them that night, or is
they get auctioned Friday.
Oh, Friday.
Yeah.
So it's a preview.
It's like a preview. We're slinging mailies, so we'll have drinks, and it's just a preview, so you can sort of go through and listen. I always wanted to do like a museum installation of like all the rock and roll tees and merch and so forth, and this is they've done a beautiful job on the presentation that I've seen so far. So.
And then how long is the auction on Friday? Is it a weekend?
Well, so the auction's not only the tees, it's it's also a ton of art that I've collected over the years and antiques. It's like you get to those points where you're like 7 storage units of stuff, and it was just like it was time to at least release some of this stuff out into the the rest of the world. And I've been building these new worlds up in Montana for Maley, and so I'm like acquiring all these new things, because you also have sort of evolved, and there's like new, sort of, I'm so into building and curating these sort of worlds, and always wanting things that inspire me and sort of push my boundaries further as an artist as I get older. And so a lot of these things, they're just pieces I've collected over.
Some of the taxidermy stuff and stuff.
Taxidermy, no. There's a Victorian piece in there. Taxidermy you can't really sell in California, so no taxidermy. But a lot of it'll be a blend of contemporary art from Ryden and things like that to to a lot of the antiques.
Now, are those Rydens original?
Yeah, there's the big Ryden piece in there that was from the tree show.
The circus one?
That's like one of his installation pieces.
Right.
It's got the train and everything.
I love it.
That's in there. That piece is incredible. An original Jim Dine, one of his Pinocchio sculptures in there. So those are two of definitely the larger, more substantial pieces.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's some Leonardo DiCaprio stuff.
He seems to like the Ryden.
He does like the Ryden. Yeah. It's interesting about Ryden because I think he lives in Portland now. But, you just think about that guy's career, like way, 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 way back, and then where it is now. And also that whole juxtaposed art world. It's like, you had those lowbrow artists for that long period of time. And then, himself, Banksy, Shepard Fairey, that bridge got that they sort of transcended into the modern art world and started to be recognized as in that. And obviously Banksy's taken it to a whole different level of his recognition in the modern art world, but it helped catapult a lot of those artists that grew up together. The shirts are going up, but then you still have like 3,000 or something. And
and listen, I still I still collect. It's pretty rare that I don't get a package each day from, I'll never lose that bug. I still, now I'm more obsessed with like the old bootlegs. I like the old, just weird, wonky artwork and things like that. But yeah, I'm forever obsessed with collecting, But like I said, a lot of these pieces I've had forever, and it's like I said, as you get older, I sort of want to like also simplify some of my that's
what we're talking about.
Moments you're like, I feel like a hoarder.
Yeah.
It started like during COVID, really. I mean, that's really when I was just like, I was going to Montana to, build the Maley distillery, and we were living out of vans, we built out Sprinter vans. And like 2 days into that, I was like, fuck, I just want to live in a van.
Yeah.
Like, you're like, I don't need any of this other shit. It was amazing. We'd go in the middle of winter. We were living 18 days. We talked the National Park Service into allowing us to stay up in one of the like closed campgrounds. So it's like we were literally out, living in our vans in the winter, cooking on open fires. We'd shower like once every couple weeks when we come down.
Yeah.
It was one of the most beautiful times of my life.
Yeah, it's like
so simple, and you realize it's like, I understand now the tiny house craze, or whatever you want to call it. Like, you realize you just don't need all that stuff. It's like it's like when you travel enough and you learn how to travel without ever checking a bag again. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care how long I'm going, I will find a laundromat. Like, I'm never checking a bag again. Like, I'm rolling with this, like, my carry-on, and I'm good.
That's it, man.
Because to me, the time's more valuable, and to stand there and wait for your bag for 2 hours, I'd rather be like, when I get to an airport, I just want to get, the first thing I want is to get out of there.
Yeah, and lost bag and all of that shit, man. And also, it's I'm going to be 60 in a few months, And, you start thinking like, I don't know what the bug is, because if I did, I would turn it the fuck off, because I think it's off. And then it's like, oh, wow, this is what I love now. And, and it's I'm sure it's definitely some kind of fill a hole from, no father growing up or whatever holes in your soul and heart. And then you get it and you got that rush, and then, then it's just sitting in your house.
I mean, that sums it up. Like I still, to your point, I still need the rush. So I still collect, and I love the moment when I get it and touch it. And like, sometimes it smells like, someone smoked, 1,000 packs of cigarettes with whatever it is. But it's like, you get that rush.
Yeah.
It's sort of like a kid with a toy. They play with it for 5 minutes and then they never touch it again, know? And when you have, all of a sudden you realize you're like, I got thousands of these things, unless I, in a perfect world, I would have them just display it everywhere. But it's, you get to a point where it's like, you have too many. So it was, initially we were going to do all 3,000 that I had.
Wow.
And it just became too overwhelming for me, because I have so many things going on right now that to try to like catalog and like get all the information put together for what each of them were. It was just like, I was like, holy shit. And that's why it ended up really just being 100, just because I was like, I can't, it's just too much, So I think, over time, because like I said, for me, the enjoyment is actually getting them and
the chase
and enjoying and chasing and going and finding them, than actually hoarding, all them and so forth and so on. So
it's like,
I like I said, I see them as art now. So to me, it's like, I've curated like what I believe, and what's attractive to me visually of these old rock tees and so forth. So, for me, I like, I think it's cool also to just share sort of, what that vision, and again, try to continue to push, how important, these things are, and keeping music relevant.
So run me through the process. Does a company come over and they take the professional pictures and everything? How does this work?
So we're doing it with Ride Auctions and LA Modern with Rego. So it's, it's the big art auction house. They do, lots of amazing different installations of people's collections and stuff. So yeah, they come, they obviously go through and first, decide if they even want to do it, if what you have is, worth their time. But it's incredible, like how they've curated it all and what they do to put, these things together. So, like I said, the installation that they've done it looks really incredible. Well, usually when you're viewing tees, they're either folded or they're on a hanger side by side.
Yeah.
Actually getting to walk through a room and they're, framed and you get to see them side by side. It's just to me, it's just such a more powerful way to get to, see them. And I think your brain takes them in so much differently as well.
Yeah, man. I mean, that's when you look at them as art, because they're in frames and you just stare at it. And a lot of people, it just fires up emotions of like, oh my God, I was at that tour, you know?
To me, they're like the trading card of rock and roll.
Yeah.
Everyone's putting their baseball cards and, hard cases and all this. It's like, to me, you got vinyl and you have the T-shirts from the shows.
And rock posters.
And rock posters. To me, that's, so like, even just because you can fold it or whatever, it's not a hard thing. They look amazing framed. They just do, and to me, it brings you into that, brings you so much into that moment. And that art was, that art was so incredible then.
Where is, in your mind, because I talk to a lot of people, the economy is like kind of fucking crazy right now. Are people buying rock shirts still?
I mean, listen, what you see online, it's like on eBay and stuff.
Yeah.
It's wild to see what people are paying for. The T-shirt market just continues to go up and up and up.
Oh, that's great.
And it's also, like some of the, it's not even necessarily the oldest ones that, it's like Nirvana.
Oh yeah.
I mean, those tees, a lot of Hanes tea, it's amazing what those are selling for.
It is crazy, right? Like I saw a shredded up
You had
one.
a Zeppelin, you had a Zeppelin tee sell not long ago for over $10,000.
Wow.
For a Zeppelin tee, and it's not unheard of to see the Nirvana tees going for 3,000 plus.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's, and listen, I'm on the forefront. I'm buying them all the time, so I feel the pain of it now. It's like it's pretty hard to find tees anymore that aren't.
Yeah.
A chunk of change.
Yeah, man.
And the rare ones, they're just, one, they're harder and harder to come by, but, they're all, go on eBay. They're all 1,000 plus now for any of them that are,
So the auction house, they set it all up. What's their cut? They get a big cut? Is it 30?
No, I think they're like, I think auction houses are typically like 10.
Oh, that's it, huh?
Sotheby's, I think, place like that, I think they're much more.
Right.
I think but that's actually paid by the
buyer?
It's paid by the buyer.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Wow.
So the seller, at least from what I understand, and on this, the seller's not, you're not paying out. It's the buyer who's paying the commission on it.
What's the rarest one in the auction? That goat's head soup sweater?
The goat's head the goat's head soup sweater. There's 12 of the original ones.
Right.
That one's marked 11. The Stones embellished tongue sweater.
Oh yeah.
They did that embellished tongue for the band, and some of the guys took them on tank tops. Some guys took them on long sleeves. On sweater,
you got the blue
that
one,
one
right?
could be a unique, for all intents. Keith Richards, when they were doing those, he had his done as the dick, so he has the tongue, but it's the dick. So it was all from that period. So that one's arguably could be even less than the goat's head soup. The Beatles, that Apple Records one with the addresses of their LA office. I've never seen another one of that ever in my life.
Wow.
And then, the Fillmore West, you see those, but you see a lot more of the Fillmore East. You just don't see many of the basketball jerseys
right
from the West with the Bill Graham middle finger. So listen, if you asked me what I think is probably the rarest, I would actually probably say that Beatles tee is probably the rarest because like I said, I've just never seen another one. Ever.
Yeah. That's going to be, I just can't wait to see this because I've seen the collection for years. And so to go see it framed and there's, LA is a rock and roll city. I went to Oasis on Sunday and it is alive and well.
Yeah.
And it always is when there's like a Jim Marshall photo exhibit or if there's something at the, that hotel there, where they have the art gallery. What's that place called?
Oh, Morrison Hotel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When there's an event there, the rock people come out, and they are in full effect. And there's an energy. That Oasis energy was unbelievable.
I've heard nothing but good things about that show. Everyone's saying that they've been great.
Yeah, so it's really incredible to get to see this auction, this preview, and see who comes out too. That's what I'm I'm fired up to see because you'll just be. You never know, man. You could be sitting there and Kirk Hammett could roll in, Just like, when I brought him down there and did the podcast, he was like, I want all these.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's fun taking, some of the different, obviously, guys that have come through here, to your point. Like, it's like going back through all that stuff. It takes everybody back.
Oh, yeah.
Even when it's the band, it's like, it's fun to see that stuff. A lot of them probably don't even remember half that stuff, from that period of time. So it's cool to, I've given some of my best in my collection have gone back to where they belong, which is pretty rad to see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really funny. is the price of merch now at a show. You know,
Oh, it's
compared to when the first shirt I bought was $10. It was the Dynasty Kiss Dynasty at the Dynasty tour.
Yeah.
And then when you redid the shirt, I was like, oh my God, my first rock shirt ever. But you know, it was like, I think it was $7.50 shirt, jersey, $10.
Well, it also wasn't, as crazy to go to the show. So you had a little extra.
Yeah.
When you put together the cost of the show and then the cost of the merch, it's wild.
It is.
And you wonder, a lot of them wonder why like the bootleggers started to win. It's like the bootleggers, they got no rules. They could use whatever photo they want. They're just out there on the street corner hustling. Tees are like $10.
Oh.
And they're the same as, it's the same stuff what they're selling inside. Just a lot of times it's even better artwork.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's pretty wild to. I will say this, crazy enough. So I took my daughter to Tyler the Creator.
Yep.
He, obviously amazing performer, but his merch thing, he sets up. We went and saw him at what used to be the Staples Center,
right
downtown. And, he has a booth outside that's just open all 24 hours a day, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And I've never in my life for any band I've ever seen lines like he had for merch. It was insane.
Yeah, there's like Taylor
hundreds
Swift
and hundreds of people in line.
Yeah, Taylor
Just
Swift, him, and now
amazing.
Oasis. Oasis merch lines were insane.
Yeah.
It's just a block that says Oasis.
Right. Well, you think, Oasis, you never know, how long they're going to be around. So
Right.
it's like, I'm getting whatever I can to get a piece of this thing,
Especially the 25 shirt. They had the two brothers,
Yeah.
I'm talking everyone was wearing it.
Yeah.
Everyone. And then a bucket hat.
But that's the thing, who doesn't want to take, it's like, that's the fun. Like, you go to these, and that's never lost. Like, you go to these shows, you want to take something home from it.
Yeah.
Besides just the memory, you're like,
Especially when you're in high school, it was a badge of honor to say, hey, I was at the show.
Yeah.
Because you couldn't buy them at no Target or fucking shit. You had to go to the show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We went to Billie Eilish, I'm pretty sure my daughter she walked out with every single thing that, was at the merch booth,
Yeah.
It's just like,
yeah.
but it's, listen, I think that's, that is the beauty to it. And again, back to, these teas, that is what you take home from it. Besides, like I said, besides the memory and, back in the day, you didn't have cell phones to sit and record the whole damn show. You had a Bic lighter and that was about it.
Yep.
So the tea was really like,
Badge of honor.
It was your badge of honor. Like, I was there, besides your ticket stub.
Now, how do people? Yeah, ticket stub. You don't even get one anymore.
No, they don't get.
I got a case of ticket stubs. Sometimes once a year I pull them out and I lay them down. And I take a photo of one at a time and put it up on Instagram. People just lose their minds.
That's one of my other favorite holy grails, which is at the show. Is I have the original NWA parking lot T-shirt from their first show with the ticket stub.
I love that.
Yeah, and that was the the fuck the police that you write in.
Yeah.
Still one of my all-time favorite designs.
That's going to be huge money, because hip hop didn't even have merch. There's no hip hop merch.
It was
back then.
like I said, it was just getting slung in the parking lot.
Yeah.
Also, I've never seen another one of that.
Yeah. How do people bid now? They go online?
Yeah, you can bid online, and then
sign up?
You sign up, and then obviously, like I said, the live auction is
What's the website?
It's LA Modern. It's a good question, isn't it? It's LA Modern.
Hold on, let me look.
I think it's just lamodern.com.
lamodern.com.
I believe is what it is, right?
Let's see here.
I know we should have had that, shouldn't we?
Oh yeah, here it is. The Blaine Halvorson Collection Art and Objects. Hold on, I'm going to look at this a little bit, and then I will, let me just glance at this. This is amazing. Great video with you. Man, look at that, these paintings and stuff. Oh yeah, there's the antiques. That mushroom thing's amazing. Roxy Payne.
Yeah, that was their.
Wow.
That's great.
So yeah, there's oh my God. This is well done, the photography and everything. And
yeah, they did a beautiful, beautiful job.
They really did.
Yeah.
What's this piece, the Victorian?
Oh yeah, that is an old original. That is the only taxidermy piece, that old Victorian, those like natural history museum boxes. Like it's got all the original hand blown glass, and it's the fox and the hare. That piece is incredible.
Thing's incredible.
Yeah.
How about this? The Snow White original book?
Yeah, that's unfired clay.
Oh wow. Wow.
Yeah, she's like a big modern artist. Like her stuff's incredible.
And then this here, Pinocchio. I mean,
the Jim Dine.
This. Now, how long were you collecting a lot of the art pieces? This stuff's amazing.
I mean, I started collecting art heavy in like '95.
Right.
And then I became like a hoarder. I mean, I was so at that moment in time, my passion was so heavily into curating space and, sort of the intermixing of art and found objects and, building these rooms and worlds, set of around them. So, again, you're curating spaces in LA, and I did a big curation in Paris, and, all of a sudden you like I said, you accumulate, and all of a sudden you get thousands of things. Yeah. And you only have so much space. So that they end up going in storage, and then I curated that. It's really what it was sort of the inception of Maidborn. It's like I collected so much art over this period of time, and I was like, I just want to take a big space where I can curate and look back at all this art I had, because it was, like I said, it was all stored away. I had forgotten what I even had at that point.
Yeah.
So I took that, one of Howard Hughes' old airline hangars down in Culver City, and that was the beginning of Maidborn. I curated, the world that I was going to be my like office. The problem is then all of a sudden you're like, oh man, this looks cool, but I need this, and then all of a sudden you're like back collecting more stuff rather than, so it's just,
Yeah. Fucking chasing your
tail. It's a never-ending gerbil wheel.
I love this Mark Ryden tree show. So starting bid $50,000, nothing yet. There's already some bidding going on. Princess Sputnik, Mark Ryden, a lot of great Mark Ryden stuff here, man, who's my all-time favorite besides Robert Williams. I mean, his painting Corky Ascends to Heaven is still it's my favorite of all time, But man, this is going to be so cool.
Listen, I was like you. I mean, Ryden, there was a period of time where Ryden was like, he was on my bucket list if I ever
totally
had the financial ability I wanted, and it was one of the first things when I had a little bit of success. It was really the first piece of artwork I bought. I bought the original Meat Magi, which to me is like still one of his like most iconic pieces.
Right.
And then began my love affair of, and over the years I collected a lot of his original pieces, and
some of this other stuff, man, like these vintage, like those like Dr.
stuff. I mean those, so that, again, collecting, I loved the intermixing of the weird antiquities, to curate those rooms. That was all part of, and I had the dogs looking at the meat, really inspired by the Angel of Meat, which is in this auction, the piece that Mark did, that was a lot of how I curated. I would find a piece of artwork that like lit an idea in my head.
Right.
But it was never about that single piece. It was about the world you could build around it to really, bring attention to, almost like a fairy tale, you're sort of curating these, little mythical ideas and places.
Have you met Ryden?
I have, yeah. I used to spend some time with him. He's wonderful.
Yeah, I met him at a book signing at the Grove. It was so the juxtapose of that of like, here's Ryden, his girlfriend at the time or whatever, and they're at the Toshins. He had that little one there.
Yeah, so at it's actually, I think it's in here somewhere. I had brought him this antique doll of Lincoln.
Oh wow!
Insane, like 3 foot, because he's obsessed with Lincoln.
Yeah, right.
So he did this beautiful drawing of Lincoln for me on paper. That is somewhere here. I think it's laying up there. Yeah, and he did his blood book, that small little book
Yeah.
And it was originally supposed to have a vial of his blood in it, and then they wouldn't allow that to be sold. So, but he gave me. So I had that in a safe deposit box forever. But I have the blood book, and in place of where the magnifying glass is, it's a vial of his blood with the actual photo of him having his blood taken for the blood book, which is pretty rad.
Like the old Kiss comic book, remember?
Yeah.
Our blood is in this. And they're just shooting the blood into the ink.
Yeah, it's amazing. Yep, that's exactly it.
What's happening with Maidworn right now? How many years now?
Maidworn started in, I think, 2013. So, yeah, what about year 12?
Yeah. Year 12.
It's been, yeah. I mean, listen, it's fun starting to, we're starting to, add some bands too that I haven't worked with in the past.
Like
who? That's always like, the cool piece too, when you haven't there's a lot of the bands I've worked with for way back in junk food days,
Yeah.
So I got 20, 25 years plus with a lot of them. So it's nice, like getting bands that, like this year, we got the Eagles, the Eagles hadn't, it was, no one really had their stuff, their merch. So it's been, Jimmy Buffett, it's just artists that you don't always necessarily,
right.
You like try to, and it's, it's crazy. Like as long as I've been in this business, it's still funny. There's like still certain artists that are, I just can't find who has them or they just don't want to be found,
That's why.
Like I've wanted to do Stevie Wonder. If anybody's listening, like Stevie Wonder's like been on the top of my list forever, and it's like it doesn't matter, talking to all the record labels, like no one knows like how to find, his who would like open the door so you could do his merch, But Stevie Wonder's like he's at the top of like sought after.
I got the Stevie Wonder Pacifica belt buckle, Songs in the Key of Life.
I mean, Stevie Wonder's like, it just doesn't get any better.
Man, I mean, what a freak of nature, just unbelievable.
Yeah.
Songwriter, singer, style. Yeah. Keyboards.
Don't get any more
clavinet.
Don't get any more badass than Stevie Wonder.
I know. Now, last time I was at the place, Chris Robinson was there. And you guys have been doing Black Crowes.
Yeah.
That's pretty fucking cool,
I love him, by the way.
I love the Black Crowes. I am dying for some Three Snakes era stuff to come out again because it's heavily, of course, they were touring the first record, the anniversary of it and everything, but man, to get some Southern Harmony, Amorica, Three Snakes era merch, oh man, that's the shit. I got
it for you, Dana.
Oh my God. I got the Three Snakes 45 insert.
We're just gonna call it the Delray edition.
Yeah, man, because that's that record is really dark, Three Snakes, and there's not a lot of stuff out from it, you know? So that would be fair.
Yeah, I mean, everyone obviously from a merch standpoint, knows the amazing crow imagery that was done. Of
course. And you got to sell the stuff.
It is like I said. It is. That's part of the fun of what we do is try and also bring, some of the more obscure, weird, even like I said, the bootleg stuff.
Yeah.
Especially when the bands embrace their bootlegs. It's.
How's the tequila doing, or the vodka?
Vodka's good. Yeah, that's like I said, that's been driving a lot of my creative passion because I've been building, we just finished a clubhouse up in Montana.
Yeah.
And then we're finishing the tasting room and what'll be our distillery that'll open in October to the public. And that's like, that will be one of those creative wonderments that you'll walk into. Oh. So that's been, it's been fun curating the whole kind of experience that we're going to have when people come to Montana to tour, what Maley's kind of the foundation of what Maley's about. But yeah, the vodka's, listen, it's been an incredible journey for Jason and I. As we said, we sat out on this thing 10 years ago together, launched almost 3 years ago, a little less than 3 years ago. And, we're across all 50 states in the U.S. now. And I think we're in 15 countries. And
wow.
Jay's band, Utata, they go out and play a lot of, Melee shows. They just played over in Budapest and like they're playing in Dubai next. And so, yeah, it's been super cool, but I'm stoked for, people, who, if you don't have enough of a reason to go to the, beautiful Montana, come up and sip some vodka.
Yeah, let's do a comedy show.
That'd be amazing.
You know what I mean?
That'd be super amazing.
Super cool, man.
Yeah.
I'm doing Thousand Oaks tomorrow night. You want to come?
Are you
Bill
really?
and I?
Oh,
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, you want to come?
Yeah.
Yeah, all right.
1,000%.
All right, you're on +1.
Yeah.
Dude, 7 o'clock. Killer theater there. Oh, it'd be so great to have you.
Oh, man. Like I said, yeah.
All right, you're in. Okay, so we got the auction preview is on Thursday night. It's in Hollywood. It's open to anybody.
Open to anybody.
And there's going to be like drinks and hors d'oeuvres or whatever. And then the auction starts Friday and goes how long? A weekend? Or?
I think it's all day. Well, the live auction, I think, is all day Friday.
And then it
So it starts in the morning, yeah.
And then it closes at the end of Friday?
Then it closes. I mean, I think typically they still have online stuff, but I think it closes.
Right.
Yeah. The stuff that doesn't, everything that's bid on, final bidding will be Friday for the pieces that have been bid on. If things haven't been bid on, I think they continue on for a period of time. This is my first auction experience, so like I'm learning as I go. I
wish that a group of people would just come to my house and just buy everything I have.
Yeah, I mean that was
I really that's what I want to have nothing.
I mean, listen, the fires came here.
Yeah.
And I had moved my office pre-COVID from Fairfax into Burbank. And then, the fires came, and then driving from, I live in Calabasas, driving from Calabasas to Burbank all of a sudden was like 2 hours.
Oh.
And you've been to my space in Burbank, I had curated, a world, from all the stuff from Fairfax into that, and then all of a sudden it was like, I don't want to be driving 2 hours here and back every day. So, I moved, we moved into, Topanga. So it was great because it was like, okay, cool. I have all this stuff. I'm finally like, like we said, downsizing, to hopefully someday, live the van life.
Yeah, I know, right?
And
I'm tiny house
I just
guy.
Van life, like little cabin in the mountains, my phone long in the ocean, in the bottom of the ocean. And yeah.
Well, all right. I will see you tomorrow at the show.
Yeah, brother.
And then I will see you Thursday at the auction. And then I can't wait to see what happens with this. It's going to be exciting. Yeah,
I mean, like I said, it's been fun, and they did a beautiful job, sort of curating it all together. So, even for me, like I'm excited to see them all like actually hanging on the wall, so you can really look at them.
Oh yeah, I can't wait.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for doing the show, and
love you, brother. Thank you.
Appreciate it. And you think after this you're just going to keep selling?
I will see.
All right, everybody. Madeworn.com is the website for what Blaine does now. Of course, he's been on the show multiple times. He's an incredible friend of mine. He's an incredible artist, and I absolutely love everything he does. And I wore one of his blank shirts on my comedy special. And they not only do they got rock tees, but they have blanks. And I'm in a blank world now of my life. Most comfortable blank shirt there is.
It's all I wear.
Oh, God, I know, right? All right, guys, thanks for tuning in to Let There Be Talk. Go and check that out. It's LA Modern, I believe we said it, lamodern.com. Beauty and Imperfections is the name of the collection and the show. Art and Objects, and that will be right in Hollywood on Thursday night. Thank you, guys.